What's up, guys? Look, man, we back. Another episode of the I Am Tim Evans show. And again, I am Tim Evans, and I just want to say welcome. And thank you for tapping in, tuning in with your boy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend so y'all can join in on this journey as we push to be better and push to be greater together. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I really want to do. Just building a community, as I said before. But look, today, what I really want to talk about today is about writing it down, making it plain. And this really goes in line with your goals, whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, whatever it is that you want to become, whatever it is that you want to do. You got to write it down, man. You got to write it down, because if you don't, then you just out here shooting in the dark. You know what I'm saying? It's like walking in a room with the lights off and trying to find your way, and you're not really sure where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Like just stepping into a maze and not really sure which direction to go or where to take. But when you write it down, it kind of gives you that guidance. And it goes a lot deeper than that, but that's what we're here to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? Just writing it down and making it plain. So I highly recommend writing your goals down. It's something powerful about that pen touching the paper. You know what I'm saying? That pencil touching the paper. It's something powerful about you actually writing out those words and writing out those letters, with your hand, as opposed to, because I know nowadays we're in the digital world, man. Everybody wants to type in their phones. Everybody wants to, use the voice to text and all this stuff, which is great. You know what I'm saying? I use that myself. Like, whatever you got to do to get your thoughts out, I most definitely support that. But I most definitely am a huge fan and a huge believer in using the pen and pad. You know what I'm saying? Using the paper and the pencil and a piece of paper and writing your goals down, or writing whatever it is that you got to get off your chest down. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge thing. Like journaling is a huge thing, and I think people should really get into that, like writing out their feelings, writing out their emotions, how they feel, what they think. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll really help when it comes to a lot of things. But and when it comes to talking about your goals, man, you just got to write it down, because it's going to help you stay in line with what you want to do. Not only that, but it's also going to help you keep it right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when we come up with goals or things that we want to reach, things that we want to accomplish, we just have it in our heads. So, the first day go by, we're good. Like, we're motivated, we're energetic, we're ready to get out here and kill it and make it happen. Second day goes by, we still excited about the stuff we did the first day, but not as much. You know what I'm saying? And then the third day comes and we start to slack off. You know what I'm saying? We start to lose sight of where it is that we're trying to go and what it is that we want to do, because we're trying to hold it in our mental. You know what I'm saying? And we got so many other things that's going on a day-to-day that it's easy to forget these things. It's easy to forget and lose sight and lose track of where you are with your goals or what it is that you want to accomplish. So I most definitely highly recommend writing it down, so that way you can keep it in front of you. That way you can keep it, in front of your computer desk. You can write it on sticky notes and keep it, on the mirror in the bathroom. You can write it down and put it up around your room on Post-it notes or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But so not only is it important to write it down so you can physically see it, visualize it and see it, but also writing it in your own handwriting, but also so you can keep it in front of you. Because if you don't have it in front of you, eventually you're going to forget what it is that you're trying to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like I said, there's so many things going on a day-to-day. Like, I'll say for myself, right? This is me speaking from experience with, being a personal trainer and having multiple clients and trying to make sure that I have, the proper programming for them for their workouts. And remembering to reach out to them and check in with them and make sure that they're doing good and they're staying on track, holding them accountable, right? Now, aside from that, still working my 9 to 5, so I still got to go to work and handle whatever it is that I got to handle there. Now, having 2 kids, I have to make sure that they're straight. You know what I'm saying? If their mom is at work or something like that, I got to make sure that they're good, that they've eaten, that my oldest has done his homework. Now, aside from that, you know what I mean? Being a husband and being married, and this goes for you even if you're in a relationship and you live with your significant other. Like, making sure that home is good, or making sure that your significant other is good, because that's also different from making sure that home is good. So you can make sure your significant other is okay, but now what about dinner? What about taking the trash out? What about going to get the car cleaned? What about making sure that you stand on top of your bills and priorities and stuff like that? So it's a lot of stuff that happens on a day-to-day that if you don't have your goals in front of you, then you'll lose sight of them. And that's just natural. So if that happens to you, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel down and out about it. Like, that happens. But what you can do is you can fix that. You can write it down. You know what I mean? You can write it down so you can see it. You can write it down so that you can have clarity. That's the other key thing right there, is having clarity. Like, we'll have goals and things that we want to accomplish and things that we want to do, but it's not defined. It's so broad. You know what I'm saying? And now with it being broad, you really don't know exactly how to tackle it because it's such a big thing. But if you can narrow it down, now you're working with something. Now you know where to go. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they say write it down and make it plain. Because when you write it down, then you can see it. You can see the holes in your plan. You can see the holes in whatever it is, your thought process, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You can see, like, all right, maybe I need to adjust this. Or maybe I want to do it like this or do it like that. Or maybe that's not really my goal. My goal is, X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? But only because you wrote it down and you got it out. You took it from the thought process, and you wrote it down. So now you can see it. Now you can adjust it. So that way, when you think about it, you have a clear picture of what it is that you want to accomplish. And now you can keep that clear picture in front of you. Man, hey, look, I like that. That came off nice. You know what I'm saying? But now you can keep that clear picture right in front of you of what it is that you want to accomplish. Now, another thing about this, right? When it comes to writing your goals down or writing your thoughts down or something like that, but I'm gonna keep it on the track of goals, right? We're gonna stay there talking about our goals and things we want to accomplish. Damn, I kind of lost my thought on that. When you write it down. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is where I was going with this. Because I was watching the podcast. I was actually watching the Sleep is for Suckers podcast with David Shands, Donnie Wiggins. Most definitely, I recommend checking them out. You know what I'm saying? If you're an entrepreneur out here trying to do your thing. But I was watching them, and one thing that he said was, your goal should have a number on it, right? Meaning, whatever it is that you want to do, you should put a monetary number on it. Like, I want to go on this trip. My goal is to go to Jamaica. Find out how much it costs to go to Jamaica. So now you got a number on it. My goal is to do this. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now I know how much it is. So, little backstory, I give you, you know what I'm saying, another story for myself as for what I've done. With us getting married, I was like, man, I need to make a couple grand. You know what I'm saying? So that I can pay for you know what I'm saying, the catering. Honestly is what it was. I was gonna cover the catering. And I was like, well, I got other stuff I need to do too, so I need to make a couple grand. So what I did was I wrote down how much money I wanted to make, right? And I actually I wrote down over the amount that I needed. So let's say I needed $2,000. I might have wrote that I needed to make $5,000, because me being how I am and knowing how things work, if whatever you aim for, you might not necessarily make it. But if you aim for over that, and you know you're going over that, then you got a higher chance of reaching your actual goal. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, let's say if I need to make $2,000, I need to make $5,000, right? So what I did was I wrote that down, how much money I needed to make. Then I wrote down the different things that I do to where I can make that amount of money. So how many clients do I need to train? How many online clients do I need to train? How many products do I need to sell of, whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? Now, aside from that, every time I got a payment, I wrote that down. You know what I'm saying? Every time I made a certain amount of money, I wrote down how much it was. You know what I'm saying? So that way I can track how much I'm making. And now I can see where I'm at with my goal. Because if you don't write it down and you don't know where you at with your goal, how do you know if you're doing good or not? Right? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You can say, hey, I want to make $5,000, and then somebody come to you middle of the month and say, okay, well, where you at with your goal? You can say, oh, I'm doing good, but really you don't know because you ain't write it down. You don't know if you need to adjust or anything because you don't know where you at. So again, it's important to write down your goals. You know what I'm saying? And track that progress and track the progress on it. So that's the other thing, man. Just making sure that you do that. That's very, very important. Now, aside from that, what I would say is when you write down your things in your journals and writing it down and making it plain, writing down your goals, I like to write them down as if they've already happened. You know what I'm saying? I like to write it down like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm have accomplished it. Like I'll write, I am happy and grateful now that. Then I write out what my goal is. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? I am happy and grateful now that I have X, Y, and Z. I am happy and grateful now that I have this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I write it down like that. Now, aside from that, oh, got my little man's here. Hey, don't cry, baby. Go sit over there for a second while I finish this. Okay? Go sit on over there for a second. So, aside from that, hold on.
I watch Travis on my TV.
Okay, go ahead, go back up there and I'm gonna come turn to it, okay? So, aside from that, another thing that I like to do with writing that down is because now you can go back and look at it, right? Which is a whole nother thing. This is powerful within itself. When you write down your goals or you write down what it is that you want to bring into fruition, and then you come back to it sometime later and you see that you've checked it off, it's kind of like a vision board, right? Like if you got a vision board of things that you want to see, because a vision board is the same thing as writing it down and making it clear and writing it down and making it plain. So you got a vision board with nothing but pictures of things that you want. Now you keeping it in front of you. Now you can constantly see it all the time wherever you got this up. And I will make sure that I put it in a place that I'm always going to be in. So now when you do that and you come back, hold on, big dog. Now when you do that and you come back to it, you can say, oh, I accomplished this, I accomplished that. Now your belief in yourself is that much higher because you know that you've already done this. You know that you've accomplished these things and done this before. So now you want to write bigger goals. You know what I'm saying? Now you're thinking bigger and you're writing bigger goals down and saying that you're going to accomplish them. So for myself, being married was a goal of mine. That was something that I wrote down and said I wanted to do.
Daddy.
Now I am. You know what I'm saying? Having my kids and living a certain way is something that I said I wanted to do. Like I literally wrote this down. Now, for myself, I wrote it down, but I also have it in a notebook, and I'm not too sure where that notebook is. But wait a second. But I wrote it down, and I know that I wrote this down in a book. So now I can go back and I can think about it, and I'm like, dang, these are all things that came into fruition. Now I feel like I'm a master manifester. Now I know that I can manifest anything that I want in my life because I've done it, but all because I wrote it down. You know what I'm saying? It always starts with a thought, and then anything that you can have in the mental can come into fruition in the physical. It's a process. It's steps that comes along with this. You know what I'm saying? But that's a part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the journey. But as you see, like I'm giving you examples of things that I've done and things that I do. When it comes to owning a gym, right? I don't even know if I said this before, but when it comes to owning a gym, this is something that I wrote down on a piece of paper. This is something outside of me writing it down. My current business partner and good friend, like we had a legit conversation time and time again many years ago about, man, it would be dope if we had our own place to work out in. It would be dope if we had a place to do boot camps at, and if it rained, we can go inside. You know what I'm saying? I was telling my wife the other day, I was like, man, you remember when I said I wanted to have a place to work out in, and I was about to buy a shed and put my workout equipment in there, put my gym equipment in there and work out in there, right? And she was like, dang, I kind of forgot that you was going to do that. But now looking back at it, now I have my own gym, or we have our own gym, me and my partners, you know what I'm saying? But these are conversations that we had prior, like a while ago, you know what I'm saying? These are conversations that we had with each other and we wrote it down. But because we wrote it down and made it plain, now we can go back, we can look at it and we be like, man, hold on. We can write it down, we can go back and look at it and be like, oh man, you know, this is something that we've accomplished. Don't do that. But yeah, man. So look, this is what I want to say to you guys. Make sure that you write your goals down so you can make it plain, you can make it clear, you can see what it is that you want, A lot of times we say we know what we want, but we really don't, especially until we write it down. So make sure that you write down your goals. Whatever it is that you want to bring into fruition, write it down. Keep it. You know what I mean? Write it multiple times. Write it in multiple places. Keep it in front of you. So that way you can always keep your eye on the prize and know what it is that you're going after. But aside from that, keep it in a safe space so you can always go back and look. And then you can be like, oh man, I checked this off. I checked that off. I checked this off. You know what I'm saying? There's so much power in that, man. So that's really what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight, man. It's just writing it down, making it plain, and accomplishing these goals, man, because that's what we're here for. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Look, tap in with me, the I Am Tim Evans Show. We going way, way up. Everything we do gonna be viral. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it right now. So let's get it. Until next time, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, all that great stuff. And peace out.